start that again. Hello, boys and girls. This is Berlin Biker, and I'm currently cruising through the town of Eberswald, northeast of Berlin. Today is not a normal ride because I have something big to say. Well, kind of big. As you guys may know, I'm not the greatest at making videos, but what I am good at is photography. Way better photography than I am at being a YouTuber and a videographer and all of that. But I'm learning, and that's the whole point of this exercise of me trying to, you know, become a YouTuber, learning stuff. Well, I have always, big announcement, okay, big gear change announcement, something that I never thought I would ever do, ever. I have shot my entire life on Canon cameras, Canon lenses, Canon everything, always, since my first camera way back in the day, like 20 years ago. Well, my last camera was a Canon 5D Mark III and the trusty 24-105 f4 lens. If you don't know much about cameras, it was a really solid camera. The 5D series is like your professional camera, and way more. It's way nicer than I could ever shoot at. I definitely did not get the full capacity out of that camera, but I'm stupid with my money and I buy expensive shit. That's true. Well, I was looking for a change. I wanted to change up my camera system because I was uninspired for a while. I wasn't taking my camera with me. It was too big. I always had excuses. I never had a reason to go out and shoot anymore. It just wasn't good. So I started thinking about, okay, maybe I need to change systems. Maybe I need to do something unique, get it back into like the realm of learning everything again, new operating system, new camera, new lenses, new family, new everything. So that's exactly what I did. I sold my Canon 5D Mark III to a very good family friend back in Colorado, and I changed to Sony. Sony cameras have come out of nowhere lately. The last few years have just been stellar for that camera brand. They have come out with the series of the A7 cameras, and I shot around with the Sony A7R2 back 2 years ago when I was still in New York, and I like the camera a lot. I really like the camera, but it had some issues. The batteries were not as great as I needed them to be, and I just thought it was kind of glitchy, and I wasn't willing to drop that money yet on a camera. So about 2 months ago, the new Sony A7 III came out, and it caught my eye. Wonderful megapixels, so 24.5 megapixels, like 24.2 or something like that. So that means like the images are 6,000 by 4,000 pixels. It had more dynamic range than my Canon. And dynamic range is if you take a photo, how dark are the darks, how light are the lights, and everything in between, right? So it has almost like, I think it's like 15.3 stops, which is like a solid stop more than my Canon, which isn't much, but like now that I'm in Photoshop looking at it, it's a lot. It allows me to shoot raw and uncompressed, so meaning my raw photos, so unedited photos, are 50 megabytes, and I have had so much data to play with in those photos, it's been insane. And then one of the biggest things is I want to start shooting more video not in a GoPro setting, right? I have a lot of I'm going to close mine. Wiser, hopefully all this audio is fine. So a lot of almost all my videos so far has been through a GoPro or my iPhone, because the Canon is a fine camera for video. A lot of people use it. It's great. It doesn't shoot 4K, which, you know, that's fine. I don't really need to shoot 4K for much. But it is nice to, in post, in After Effects, to stabilize the 4K, drop it down to 1080, and it's super smooth and clean. But the autofocus points for video is something that the Canon didn't have. You had to manually focus on it and it just was a pain in the ass. I wasn't very good at it, and I know I'm not, so that's why when the Sony launched with like 693 focus points, which is just like ungodly unheard of, like that's more than like flagship cameras like the $7,000 Canon and Nikon. It has more focus points than that, and they're all usable, and it's crazy, absolutely crazy the amount of power that you get out of this camera. Well, I bought it in the States when I wasn't there because it was 800 euros cheaper. Yes, 800 euros cheaper than it is in Europe. So I bought it, and I was going to have my mom ship it to me, and then I decided that was a bad idea, and I just had my friend bring it to me when I was going to meet her and her family in Istanbul on our way to the safari. So I got it there, and I shot it for 2 solid weeks. Basically, I had to learn how to shoot on the Sony system because it was a do or die, because I'm not going to go to Africa very often. Hell, it's been 29 years and I've done it once. But I learned the camera system and I absolutely love it. Some of the photos I got in Africa were insanely beautiful. I'm so excited about the camera. Everything about it has just been wonderful. But this is the first motorcycle trip I've been on with my camera. So I'm really excited for this, to shoot my bike with this new system. So far today I've found 2 spots that I've pulled off, and I'll show some photos of those now. Elevator music, it's so cool. Cool. So really pretty photos so far. I'm really excited about this camera. I'm going to be talking about it a lot in the next few videos, and just probably in the next year or so, because I'm really fascinated about camera. You don't get to switch very often, right? I had my Canon for almost 3 years. My camera before that had like 4 years. You don't switch cameras very often, and I'm really excited about this camera. Really excited. So hopefully the photos turn out as good as they look so far on the back screen of the camera. But if you want to see all of that, make sure you follow along my Instagram, instagram.com/TheBerlinBiker. Also on Facebook, just search Berlin Biker and you'll find more photos. I'm really looking forward to it. I was thinking about doing an unboxing, but I never got the box to do an unboxing. But I did make a really cool Pelican case where the camera fits in perfectly, and I throw that in my backpack so there's protection for the camera, because I don't want the camera just be falling around all over my backpack and stuff, right? In case my backpack hits the ground or something while I'm riding, or I just, forget to put my backpack on right and it just falls off the back. So I will show an image of that right now. Pelican case, it was like 75 bucks. It had pre-cut cubes of foam, which is really cool. I measured out my camera, threw it in. I got a bunch of batteries in it, and I got my GoPro batteries, my camera batteries, and I still have extra space. So I'm either thinking I'm going to put my GoPro in there as well, or I might just put in my other lens, my Zeiss Luxia 50mm, to throw in just in case. First, I guess no other reason. But I don't know where I'm going. There's a Mustang. I'm going that way. That's a real pretty Mustang. I have no idea where I'm at right now, but that's okay. I'm just gonna keep driving. But yeah, it's a really pretty case. I like it a lot. Camera fits well. It gives me that added protection when you're driving around with a few $1,000s on your back. You definitely don't want to accidentally drop the camera, if you know what I mean. That's a cool little thingamabob. I kind of want to go back and look at that. Should I? Alright, I'm going to go back and look at that. I think that's it for this video, guys. I really appreciate you subscribing and listening to me ramble about cameras and electronics. If you don't know, I love technology and I love photography, and being able to combine photography and motorcycles and everything like that has just been lovely. And hopefully you guys enjoy my photos as much as I enjoy taking photos of my motorcycle. Alright guys, I'm gonna go back to that. Way too fast. this is. I feel like I shouldn't be going on a lot of this stuff right now. Oh, this is nice. Oh yeah, I'm definitely taking photos here. And where to? Alright, let's take some photos. Go micro out.